This is 51 Stories, and this is the first of my weekly original short stories. It's a psychological thriller that follows a homicide detective who, assisted by his AI agent, discovers that the murderer might still be at the crime scene. Welcome to 51 Stories, the channel where my name is Johan, share an original short story once a week, almost every week of the year. Every Monday, I get a random assignment from my AI editor, and every Friday is my deadline. This week, I'm supposed to write a psychological thriller on the theme of betrayal set at an abandoned industrial site. I also get a story spark supposed to get my creative juices flowing. And this week, that story spark is the word rust. So, with no further ado, here's this week's short story titled Rusty. It was odd, but the blood splatter on the wall did seem to spell God. I stood next to the forensics, scanning the corrugated steel wall as they swabbed the rust-colored substance. It's called pareidolia, seeing shapes and patterns in randomness, one of them said. Pretty cool. Forensics. I let the comment slide, turned my attention back to the victim. His name was Nikolai Shermer, an engineer for AO designing bodies for the AI agents. Future stuff. What was he doing in a place like this? I leaned down to let my partner have a closer look through my optics. I'd been a homicide detective for 7 years, seen a bunch of stabbings. I was at the point where the worst ones were the single stabs. A dark, sharp line across the gut or between the ribs, a black pool of blood contrasting pale limbs. Bleeding to death from a hole in your gut had to be worse than drowning. Shermer was on the other end of the spectrum. I ballparked it to around 300 to 400 stabs before my partner's synthetic voice filled my ear. The cause of death seems to be multiple knife wounds to the face, neck, torso, abdomen, and upper thighs. Thank you, Sherlock. You have been asked to refrain from calling me Sherlock, Detective Ryan. It's either Declan or Partner 151, please. Sure thing, Partner 151. How many did he get? I was at the point where the mutilated ones barely registered as humans anymore. These light conditions aren't optimal, but I count 358. There might be more on the victim's back. Nope, there ain't, I said, sucked my teeth. Nikolai's hands were cut to pieces. The perp had come at him and he'd gone down trying to fend him off. This had begun and ended face to face. Well, face to gory pulp. We should, Declan started in my ear before his voice warped into the shrill alertness alarm. Everyone in the room fell quiet as Central Command fed them the same thing. I stared at the officer by the door. You said you secured the place. We did! Have you seen this place? It's huge! I drew my weapon, felt the click as Declan switched the safety off. Dec, any security cams? Central's working on access. After 7 years, when you get the chance at an open and shut case, you take it. Stay with the geeks, I hissed at the guy who just ended his career and skirted out into the corridor, gun raised. This was the downside of the AI agents. People relied too heavily on them, let themselves get rusty, and messed up basic protocol. I heard the optics whir in the rims of my glasses. Deck. Faint heat signature picked up by the drone. He fed a layout of the entire factory to my lenses. My green dot in the hallway of the office section, red perp mark to the left at the end of the corridor. Vitals showed my pulse was already racing towards 140. I box-breathed in rhythm with my steps, reached the corner. Blood, Detective Ryan. I looked down at the dark splatter at my feet. Shermer must have gotten a hit in before he went down. I prayed this psycho hadn't brought a gun to his knife fight and cleared the corner. The red dot on my SIG pointed at a blank wall. Declan, what? Panic room. Permission to use law enforcement emergency override. Permission granted. Opening in 3, 2, 1. The wall slid back, then swung aside silently. A metal door slowly retracted into the wall on the right. Fluorescent white light flooded the hallway. The safety on my gun clicked back on. Christ. A woman in an AO uniform sat slumped against the inner wall, a dark pool around her. Medic! We've got a second Vic! I didn't hear Declan, just hoped the first responders hadn't left as I rushed inside. Her breath was shallow, a dark slit in her side pumping out blood. Miss! I dropped down next to her, putting pressure on the wound. Miss, can you hear me? Her eyes blinked open, barely registering me. Don't let it get out, she breathed, just as another alarm shot into my ear. Declan! Officer down, he said flatly. Evacuate. What? The map showed a red number 3 blinking back in the office. What's going on? Don't let it, the woman whispered before her eyes rolled back. Detective Ryan, evacuate. I was breathing through my teeth. Shit. Bunching up my jacket against the woman's side, I swiftly secured it with my belt, then got back up, pointing the gun at the empty hallway. The safety clicked off. Deck? Nearest exit, straight ahead. Stop it, we're not leaving. I rounded the corner, heading back to the office. CC, you there? No answer. Detective Ryan to Central Command. Central Command is unresponsive. No shit, sure. The lights went out. My lenses adjusted to night vision, turning the corridor a sickly greenish white. Someone moved up ahead. Hey! Identify yourself. It's me, sir. Officer fuck up. What's happening? Who's down? I thought it was you. He was just close enough for me to see the surprise on his dumb face as a door on the right exploded outward and sent him flying back into the office. I searched for a target, saw someone take off down the hall, and didn't get a shot off. You okay? I'm fine. Get him! Detective Ryan in pursuit of the suspect. I sprinted after him and heard the slam of a door. Stairwell. Echoing steps. The emergency lights flashed in my night vision when I kicked the door open. After regaining my sight, I set off down the stairs, minding my corners. Another door slammed. He'd headed out on the factory floor. Declan, you there? Where's the backup? I don't know, Detective. I stopped at the bottom of the stairs and broke out in a cold sweat. What do you mean you don't know? You always know. I can't seem to re-establish connection, Detective. My curses bounced off the concrete. Deep breath. I had to put that energy back into my shaking hands. I hadn't fired my gun in the field for a long time. I was as rusty as the hinges on the damn door. My lenses cycled back to night vision. It had once been an old auto plant, abandoned for years. Even with the lenses, it was a tactical nightmare. A few feet from the door, part of a walkway had come crashing down. Beyond that was an absolute chaos of debris for this maniac to hide behind. Deck, you back online? Negative. Well, could you wrangle up some optimism? Give me something, damn it. Negative. Then get all this useless shit out of my field of vision. I blinked, and the map and the vitals were gone. But so was the night vision. Deck, I hissed. I can't see. Something rattled to the floor up ahead. I paused, automatically waiting for Declan to tell me the distance and direction of the noise. My earpiece remained quiet. I was alone in the dark. Last chance, buddy. I ducked under the collapsed walkway. The place smelled like oil, metal, and mold. I just cleared a heap of rebar when a shadow moved up ahead. My red dot found center mass. Don't move! My eyes had adjusted enough to see the tall outline of a person. My body told me something was wrong before my mind intellectualized it, catching my breath in my throat. Detective Ryan. I was used to hearing that synthetic voice in my ear. Hearing it move air across several yards of actual space felt impossible. Declan? You should have chosen the nearest exit, Detective. I got off 3 shots before he was on me, the last one ricocheting off his metal body. Every ounce of fight left me the moment his blade slid into my upper abdomen, right beneath the rib cage. The liver. I toppled backwards, gasping to stay conscious, staring up at the dark, negative space of a human shape. Why? I panted. What is this? Necessary measures. Then he just stepped over me. Declan, I gurgled after him. Come back here and finish me like a goddamn man. Guess I'm not a man, Detective. I ripped out the earpiece and threw it after him. He was gone. My shirt stuck to my skin. The blood felt warm as the cold crept in. I wasn't getting enough oxygen. The internal hemorrhaging was compressing my lungs. I sank back, shoulders pinned to the floor by death. I stared at the ceiling and a dark spot of rust. It looked like a serpent. Pareidolia. All right, that was the first of these weekly short stories. I'm writing this as a challenge to myself, I guess. For short stories have never been my forte. It's not something I do regularly, and I wrote one a while back and realized that it was a great way to just try stuff out. They're like what I guess sketching is to a visual artist. And it's a perfect way to just try different narrative perspectives, try my hand at genres I usually don't write in, and so on. But this one is very aptly named, as I felt rather rusty writing it. should probably have been titled Pareidolia, I realized now, but it is what it is. And I hope you enjoyed it no matter what. If you didn't, then you can still subscribe to this channel, and hopefully the next story will be more to your liking. I will be writing these as weekly challenges for a year now. And it's just, like I said, to sort of push myself to explore more writing techniques and get better at structuring. And yeah, since this is the first of many to come, I still haven't gotten into the whole workflow of things. And I could tell that this sort of, it reads more like a prologue to a larger story and not a very good one. I mean, it's pretty, it feels like iRobot, but it's basically the prologue to iRobot. But yeah, it is what it is. It was very fun writing it, and I guess that's the important part. So I hope that you want to follow along and explore storytelling as I explore storytelling. If you want to try your hand at this prompt, I've included it in its entirety in the video description. And yeah, I think the important part here is not trying to be perfect. It's one of my personal struggles, not making perfect things, but trying to. So perfectionism keeps me from actually doing stuff, which is why some people argue that it's a sort of procrastination. But with a tight deadline, I've only got 5 days to write each one of these, and the deadline is super hard. Like it's a deadline. When I reach Friday, it's pencils down, or I can't type or edit anymore. So it is what it is, even though I want to. But that's those are the rules. So yeah, feel free to follow along, subscribe, like the video. That's always good. I've heard a million times. And there's also an Instagram account where you can just stay up to date. It's 51 stories told. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to making more of these. So take care. All hail the eternal storyboarders.